All right, so what's the greatest disappearing act? I did 2 disappearing acts in Colorado that will make you fucking fall off your chair. While I'm doing all this shit, guess what opens up? A job for a fucking jailhouse attorney.
Do you have to be a lawyer?
Like a house to protect people when they get in trouble.
Right, but what are there any requirements? You have to
The requirements, you had to take a test to know all the rules of the prison system.
Okay.
And then with your intelligence, you could whatever, and you had to go in there with your defendant and fight for him.
Oh, shit.
So like 2 months in, I applied for that job and I got it.
All the way from baker to lawyer.
That was already another $40. It was like $1.10 an hour. So I'm like fucking I got 2 jobs. I'm Joey 2 jobs in jail. I'm a fucking kitchen stock clerk.
Oh, you kept that job?
Yo, yeah, I kept it. I'm a workaholic. You know me, I ain't got time to fucking sit in my fucking room and stare at the ceiling and think about what could have been. I don't have that type of luxury at 25. At 25, you weren't going to get me at all to sit down.
You were still making a minimum wage.
Oh, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck.
No, I'm saying
I just wanted to make money. So now I did my biggest disappearing trick. I'm sitting there one day. And like I said, let's just say this guy's name was John Clark. Fuck it, who cares? It was. John. Okay, he was out of Philly. If he's still alive, God bless you. Because I love you with all my heart, you bad white motherfucker. John Clark had killed a dude in Philly, and he was just a badass white dude.
Okay.
He was an Irish, badass white dude. Didn't even look Irish. He looked like something out of like a killer movie. He just had that personality. He had just been done. He was in his last 2 years of a 16-year sentence. He was an interesting guy. He was a part of people who hate, black people and Jews and Spanish people. Yeah. But him, too, had some Jew in him because he did business with me. So that's just to show you, I don't care if you hate white, black, green, purple. No, I don't care if you hate brown, whatever color Jews are, tanned, whatever color
green
Chinese people, you always love the color green. So John Clark was a dude, you just can't, that's another thing. Like, you people who would there's people who just invite themselves on the podcast. Like in prison, you get smacked for inviting yourself. Like, I could never come up to you and go, hey, Lee, can I talk to you for a second? I have a proposal for you. Can I do this and this? And they look at you like, you don't even know me. The next time you disrespect me, I'm going to knock the fuck out of you. That's how real it is.
So how are you supposed to do it?
There's a way to do things.
Okay.
One way is to show up how you show up. You got to show up with an envelope.
Yeah.
So he was pretty much in charge of the Aryans, and he talked to me. When I got locked up, it was the Aryans. They hung out by themselves. Then you had the bikers that hung out by themselves. We could all fuck them up. Their leader, I forget what his fucking cunty fucking name was. He was a cunt. You
hated bikers.
I hated, at that time I was mad at bikers because the guy who ratted at me was a biker.
Oh, okay.
So I had seen through the whole facade. So now I get locked up and there's this fucking biker crew in there. And the low guy in the totem pole always thought he was tough. And I fucked him up before I got out. But before I put his piece of shit in his drawer, I took a shit and put an American cheese box and put it in his drawer. But let's not get to this. So I'm making the $40 a week from the being the attorney at the jail.
Right.
And I'm a fucking upscale convict. Like, I'm upscale. Like, people are like, oh my God, you're doing such a great job, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I'm gambling. I'm promoting gambling. I'm inciting gambling. Because every card I sold, I made $20.
And then, not to go too far away, is this also at the point when you were doing the acid you were telling us about a week or two ago?
Yeah, so we were also doing acid, like, on Sunday nights. Me, the librarian, and Torrey Pyle. We were all doing acid on Sunday nights. Not every Sunday, just some Sundays. Sundays, we did acid on Sundays because it was The Simpsons. It was, not The Simpsons, Lust and Marriage.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever it is.
Family something.
It was that. It was in prison, everybody watches America's Most Wanted.
Really?
Every night. Stuck on Sunday nights. When that show first came out, when I was locked up in 88, that's what you watched. You couldn't even talk during America's Most Wanted because there was always one guy that said, I know that dude. Right? So there was always one dude who said that. So not only was I an attorney and a whatever, so now there's a hole in the system.
Okay.
I'm not doing drugs, but I know who's doing drugs. At that time, there was there was like maybe 7 or 8, army barracks that they converted into prisons. And I knew who was doing drugs. There was like 3 barracks that were there together because they were heroin heads, and there was meth heads. They didn't call it meth back then; they called it speed.
And then the guards were bringing it in or something.
No, so there was 2 ways. There's one way to bring in drugs.
Okay.
And that's the girl puts the balloon filled with heroin. She either swallows it like 3 days before and shits it off in the jail. There's 1,000 ways. Or there's the chick that puts it in her pussy, takes the balloon out of her pussy, puts it in her mouth, makes out with you, and then you shit the balloon out.
Fuck. Okay.
Okay, so they always search you on the way back from visitation. But there was one way that I knew you could get drugs in. I had heard about it, but I had the magic answer to how to do it. You ever driving around and you go on 101 or 405, one of your routes, and you see guys picking up papers?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's how you smuggle in drugs into prison.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I figured out a way. The reason why I had to go there early in the morning was to give them the supplies. They would give me what they needed for the menu. So I would walk and get everything they needed. Meat, potatoes, 10 pounds of garlic, whatever they needed. I would get it from the stock, bring it back. And then my second job was to get a crate, 3 crates of lunches, and I would put them in the back of a 2-wheel drive Toyota truck, a little long bed truck, and I would drive it to a different location. So I would drive it to a different location.
Okay, wherever they're picking up trash.
What's that?
Wherever they're picking up trash.
Wherever they were picking up trash. So he would tell me that morning at 7:30 when I went to pick up whatever, he would tell me, hey, do you know how to get to I-70 in this street? They're going to be working over on the whatever side of the road today.
Wow.
So the first couple times I did it, I didn't really think anything of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I didn't think anything of it. And then one day I go, what am I doing? This is money.
So you didn't think about leaving. You thought about using that information.
What do you mean leaving? Why would I fucking leave? What, are you retarded? Why would I leave? I'm not leaving. I knew where they were gonna be that morning.
Right.
So what I would do is I would run over to the back. He would tell me where I was going. I would run over to the back, and then I would go to John Clark and tell him where they were going. John Clark would walk around the back to a black kid, give him his girlfriend's number and a quarter, and that guy would get on the payphone, call John Clark's girlfriend, and tell him where to meet John Clark while he was picking up garbage.
Oh, fuck.
So she would go and throw a balloon out and put it in like a baggie. So when he was picking up stuff, he knew exactly where to go and pick up the baggie.
Fuck.
Sometimes he would swallow the balloon, or I would wait for him at the gate and talk to the guard, and they wouldn't be searched.
Wow. And every day you would do this?
3 days a week.
Jesus.
So I would either do it with John Clark or this Mexican kid.
That's crazy. So you had 4 jobs in prison.
But that was my biggest money maker, because John Clark was giving me like $100 a week.
Wow. So what would have, like, how did you hide all this money? Because didn't you say you could only have $40 on you?
I would hide it in my storage.
Oh.
I would hide it in the storage. There was a tree close to the storage. So I dug up this thing by the tree, so it wasn't really on my property, but it was.
Got it.
They couldn't come to me, and I also hid steroids there and drugs, so I charged a VIG on that also. Now, when in my life was I sitting there going, when I go to prison, I know exactly what I'm going to do?
Right. Never.
I didn't know this. I thought I'd always go to prison, but I didn't even know these opportunities were there. This is the same thing that's going on now with us. We don't know what's going to happen till the smoke clears. Once the smoke cleared, I went to work. Did I ever dream of being a jailhouse attorney? Yeah, I mean, that's all our dreams. We all wake up every morning going, you know what? I think I'm going to go to prison so I could be a jailhouse attorney. You know, none of us have that fucking dream. But this is what I had to create from my setback.